Hey guys, good morning, what's up? I'm Yalek, and in today's Boom Beach video, very quickly, I wanted to show a little bit of, well, a couple of cool hits that I just did, and talk about the new tribes. The new tribes are Zooka damage, which I've taken full advantage of, tank health, which I probably should. I mean, if I'm ever going to learn tanks, it would be at a time like this, but I kind of don't want to spend the raw crystals. Resource reward, taking full advantage, very good for gold return on attacks. Half off shock bombs. This is new, but not, I mean, we had this very, very recently, not very exciting. I put a little bit on building health, I don't even know why, just to make it a little harder for somebody, and I don't care at all about sniper attack speed. So, with that said, I was going through my map this morning, and I'm still, the leftover, sort of the reaction in the last tribe cycle with the extra GBE was for every player in the world who had ice to boost up the ice as a defense against the extra gunboat capabilities of people with extra GBE. So, also there were benefits to rocket health. So not a great tribe for me because I use a lot of HRCZM. Rockets and rifles don't mix, right? So I'm still seeing a lot of those bases. So this morning, and so I've had some fails in here, obviously. I'll get back to him. That was just tried with the critter cannons, and that didn't work at all. He's got 2 sky shields plus a regular shield. But we can go get that with Grens, and I don't think that'll be a problem. So I attacked this guy also with Grens, since I had them, or I had loaded them up here. I think he was online as soon as I tried to come back. So I tried Grens on this guy, Huai, or Huye, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, whatever. Did not work, and Grens are expensive, so that's not something I was going to mess around with too much today. So I went back to my default, and that didn't really work too well either. I ran out of troops. I was just burning on his shield with a full shield with like 2 Zookas. And actually, no, not 1 full shield, it was 2 shields, because look, this base, fun, this guy has 3 ice, 2 of them boosted, 3rd one's over here, and 1, and 2, and 3 shield generators. So, and very, very spread out base. This is the anti-HRCZM stuff that I have been talking about. I'm seeing a lot more of this. I don't know if, I think maybe Supercell, by allowing HRCZM to be overpowered for so long, there was like a 6-week stretch where everything happened to benefit HRCZM. Whatever the tribe cycle was, it was a benefit to. Anyway, so one way or the other, I'm seeing more of these way, way spread out bases. So in this case, that is kind of a good thing. 3 shields means that's 3 fewer things shooting at me. But on the other hand, it means I have harder work to get around to all the things in this base that I need to get around to. And you see he's also clustered his flamethrowers and machine guns and some mortars towards the middle of this base, so that was really the crucial part of this base right there. And there it is, the dog never fails. However, was working through the base pretty quickly. The cheap shocks are amazing for this, and of course, you know, Zooka damage is always fun. Working through the base pretty quickly, and now we've got some one-hitters to deal with. This mortar is not a factor as long as I can flare back. And I was hoping my troops would get over here on this boom cannon. They did not. They're just standing and shooting the HQ, and nobody's paying attention to it. So I had to do a little detour over to the side here to take out this boom cannon, and then I had no GBE to flare back. So then I had to sit there and wait. Luckily there is 1 heavy down here, so the machine gun is getting him, and luckily there is a heavy over here, and he should, between the heavy and the critters, they should draw the mortar fire. But that was really annoying because I didn't even want to be over there in the first place, but I had to wait to get the GBE to flare back. And then once we flared back, golden. I mean, he's got 3 shields up, but I've got a bunch of time. I've got a bunch of Zookas, I've got some rifles. I have a heavy to stand out front, 2 heavies to stand out front. The mortar can just barely range the heavies, but not the rifles or the Zookas, and the medics, the mortar's actually mainly focused on the critters here, and the medics, should the heavies come under fire from the mortar, we'll sit there and heal them back up. So there's really no possible way to lose here. And we just sit and work. And he's still got his 3 shields up, but I've got all day. So we're going to speed that up because there's no point sitting there and watching it in 1x mode. But yeah, 3 shields, 3 ice, 2 boosting, and down goes Huye. Boom. Making Huye go boom, or whatever. Anyway, so this guy was a base that was not. So now I'm just taking advantage. I'm going to do a full map clear, which I don't know if I'd have gotten around to this morning because I've got a bunch going on. The dogs just had their bath. That's why that one is so upset in the other room, because I locked them in there to dry. Don't want them running around the house. So this guy does not have a great base for HRCZM, but I figured I could make it work. He is mostly spread out. However, these 2 towers, shock launcher and rocket launcher, left-hand side, are able to be shocked together, and that is a fairly easy shock. On the last base, there was one hard shock that I kept trying to get between a shock launcher and a rocket launcher, and I missed it like 3 times and finally gave up and just went for shocking, I think it was a shock launcher and mortars, because I was not getting the rocket launcher anyway, and at that point it was about to drop. This is an easy shock, so I know I can get that. I don't have the GBE to bar out more than 2 of the range towers here, so I chose the 2 that were in this area, and he's done me a solid. If this shock or rocket launcher had been somewhere back in here, I probably would have had an issue. But he was trying to take away the landing, I think, put some heat on the beach, but having that right on the beach for me is kind of an asset. So I just figured we'd do sort of a 2-part hit. Come in on the right side and take out that particular rocket manually, as it were. And then once that goes down, some of my troops are wandering off to the side, getting attention from the shock or rocket launcher over there, so we had to smoke to cover them. And then we come back to the beach and do a little field trip over here, and now we can actually begin attacking this guy's base. So we're going to flare up that way and smoke a little bit. Critters to clear those boom mines. Did not stay. It's with RCZM and HRCZM, the smoking can get hairy. The troops stand all at different distances from their targets, and somebody likes to wander out always. There are a bunch of riflemen in there, and they take up their room, and the heavies like to get close to their target, so somebody tends to pop out regardless. But anyway, a couple of quick shocks here in the middle of the base until we can get the shock launcher down. And this is pretty much a done deal at that point. Got a bunch of one-hitters here and some stuff back here, but also cheap shocks, which is good, and some free GBE to collect along the way, so it just ends up being kind of a shock party from here. But just swarming. And he had, what do you have? There's 3 ice. Oh, and a green. Yeah, that's pathetic. This is right around 1200. I don't get it. You would think at this level of the game people would know better than that. Gotta be a tank user. Gotta be a tank user. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought that was fun. The sort of 2-pronged approach to taking down this guy's base. Tribes are cool. Should be a pretty good tribe cycle. Fairly... well, I don't know. I mean, the building health, I don't know how high that goes. The Zooka damage is going to be awesome. Otherwise, I'd say everything else is pretty well balanced, but then Zooka damage, especially on ops, that is going to be spectacular. So I haven't even calculated how much damage. Actually, let's look at that. So, currently, well, and this is with a little bit of a boost on, so that's... salvage. What are we doing here? Sure. So currently a single Zooka is doing damage per second, 538 plus 790. Hang on, and I'm breaking out my calculator on the side. So we've got 538 plus 790 per second. So 1328 per second times 13 Zookas per boat is 17,264 times 8 boats is 138,112 per second. So 138,000 per second. And then when you add in, so 138,112, and then let's add battle orders, no, not select, info. Info is damage bonus is going to be plus 30%, so 138,112 times 0.3 is another 41,000, so plus 138,112. So Zookas are now doing 180,000 damage per second. 179,545.6. 180,000 damage per second. So there should be some fun solos available out there, I should think. And I'm anticipating that this is going to cost me some powder because there are, some bases that I would like to collect solos on that should be more attainable here. Anyway, so all very good, and I'm going to continue with my map clear, and I'll catch you guys later. I'm out. Have a great day.